You know, when I'm working on this old engine, it just really takes me back to when I was a kid, because I cut my teeth on an old 216 Chevy motors, helping my dad when I was a little kid. Helping my dad always hand him wrenches and stuff, and watch him fix things and work on things and put in kingpins and this and that. And this motor's not a 16; it's a predecessor to that, but still, it reminds me of that old motor in those times. And this little trick that my dad always taught me is, you got something that's been there a long time, if you'll tap on it, just tap on that screw. And so far, by doing that, every one of them's turned out of there. And of course, it's not as bad on something that's got grease on it as it is something that's been painted. But anyway, that's an old Indian trick. And yeah, this thing, I think it's been a long time since the oil pan was off of it. So, a lot of crud built up here on it, but we'll get her. Well, I was just thinking, there's sometimes 200 or 300 people watching these videos, and you know, y'all up underneath this car with me, this truck this morning, and it's just odd to me that there's maybe a couple hundred people and here with me, and I'm the only one doing anything. I don't know why you guys don't pick up a wrench and kind of help out a little bit once in a while. But I just wanted to point out something here. You know, I thought that oil pan might be kind of a bugger to get off there. Depending on what kind of sealer they used on that gasket, they were good to me. They were kind, and I thank you, whoever you are out there. But you know, we used to use stuff when I was a kid. My dad got this nasty old brown, called it gasket shellac, and it was some Permatex product, and boy, that stuff, you put that on a cork gasket and then put it on, and and it'd take gasoline and hand grenades to get it off when you go to take it apart, but by golly, it'd stick, you know. Anyway, I took the last bolt out of this thing and tapped it with a screwdriver. It just slipped over the edge, and the oil pan dropped off, and it almost fell on me. I mean, it come right off there and dropped in the floor, and that's a good thing. But I want to point out, you know, some of the subscribers on my YouTube channel are young guys, 20, 21, 20, you know, under 30, a lot of them, and they like to look at these old cars, and I don't blame them. I do too. And something I wanted to show you here, some of you young guys maybe have never been into an engine that's this old, and I remember them from when I was a kid, but this does not have a pressurized oiling system. It doesn't have, this oil pump is just a little guy that goes up and pumps up some oil up to the rocker arm. But there's no pressurized system that's oiling these bearings or anywhere else in the engine. All it has are these little splashers. They call it a splash oil system. And there's these little cups on the bottom of the rods, if you can see that. I'll point out that one. And as they turn, as that crankshaft turns, these little dippers come down, and they pick up oil and they sling it up in the engine, and it slings it up on the crank and up in the cylinders, and that's all there is to it. That's pretty simple, but that's how they oil the camshaft. You can see the camshaft right there, and that's how that's all oiled. It's just from splashing that oil around in there, and I think that's just amazing, you know. And it worked just fine. This thing does smoke a little bit, and I think that was just common for them, because it's funny when you're driving the thing down the road and you hit a bump and it splashes oil up in the cylinders. It gets a little more up there, a little puff. He'll throw a puff of smoke out the smokestack, you know, and that's just how they worked back in those days. And I just love it. That's what makes this thing a lot of fun to drive, is because of just the old technology and how it worked. So anyway, this will continue on. The saga will continue. But I'm going to shut this thing down right now and go ahead and get busy and get this oil pan, get it in the parts washer over there and clean it up, and see about getting that gasket off there and replacing it. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.